Let's talk about kids. Now, kids are the little people that if you're a woman, they could come out of your body. And if you're a man, you've probably helped make them. And well, you might even have adopted some. But usually, when you have a kid, that means you are a parent. And as a parent, you have a responsibility to take care of that kid until they're 18 or 43 or whatever the circumstance may be. But for some reason, when people go on cruise ships, they forget. They forget all of that lineage, all of that coming out of your body and making the kid kind of thing. And they're just bad cruise parents. I got a couple crazy stories to talk about today. And let's figure out who the worst cruise parent is. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to La Lido Loca. Welcome to the cruise show. I am your esteemed host, Tony, here to talk you through everything going on in cruising. And well, the big topic for today's cruise show is bad cruise ship parents. And I tell you what, there are a few out there. You'll recognize them on cruise ships. A little later on, I'll tell you some things to look for to spot the bad cruise ship parent. But first, let's talk about this poster over on Reddit who laid the question out there in relation to their 9-year-old son and an upcoming cruise. A simple question. The question is this. I was wondering, do folks let their kids kind of roam free? Just thinking it would be good for him to practice a little independence with pretty low risk. It seems like a reasonable question. Should a 9-year-old boy wander and roam around a cruise ship by himself, all for the sake of getting a little independence practice under his belt? Well, poster on Reddit, I have an answer for you. No, you should not let your 9-year-old child wander around a cruise ship full of strangers. Even the smallest cruises have around 1,000 passengers. And when you get into some of the mega cruise ships, you got 6,000 people on board, 6,000 people that are a cross-section, a microcosm of the society today. And you are likely to have a small percentage of weirdos, people that ne'er-do-wells, people that want to do bad things to other people given the opportunity. And you're going to put your little 9-year-old kid out alone in that sitch? No. Maybe I'm overreacting. What do you think the appropriate age is for a child to wander around unsupervised on a cruise ship? I'll throw it to you. Let the people speak. What do you think? Maybe my older teenagers, I guess, 14, 15, 16, but yeah, no, that's the last thing that you want, especially if you do a few Google searches. There's some pretty horrific stories of things happening to younger folks on cruise ships. So, yeah, watch your kids. Now, honestly, when it comes to thinking about the worst cruise parents, I will probably give that Redditor a pass because at least they were out there on the front end asking the question, what is appropriate? They weren't just making some uninformed decision and then making bad decisions on the cruise ship. But with that said, there are plenty of candidates out there representing bad cruise parents. And this next couple, it's pretty bad. Can we talk about the mom who missed the ship and her kids were on board? Let that sink in. The mom got off the cruise ship. She left her kids on the cruise ship, and then she did not make it back to the ship on time. Now, look, it's not as bad as it sounds on the front end. The mom left the kids with the dad. The dad was on the cruise ship, but when the mom did not return to the cruise ship, he grabbed up their paperwork and he left the cruise ship to go look for the mom, and then he found the mom, and then they both missed the cruise ship, leaving their kids on board. Now, that's not even as bad as it seems. There was some uncle on board that was able to take care of the kids, some uncle. So seemingly the kids were okay. They were a family. But what kind of parents are you that you miss the cruise ship and leave your dang kids on board? They caught up to the cruise ship later. All's well that ends well. But you know what? If I was one of their kids and we were sitting down at the dining room table and they were giving me some grief about my report card, I'd be like, yeah, but at least I never, stranded us on a cruise ship with Uncle Harry while you guys were out gallivanting at Mr. Sancho's. That's what I would say if I was their kid. You'd probably get smacked. I don't know. Do you have any examples of bad cruise ship parents that would even come close to rivaling the couple that missed the ship while their kids were on board? Are those guys the worst cruise ship parents? Maybe they are the worst cruise ship parents, but I know for sure there are some ways to spot some cruise ship parents that have completely failed at their parenting. And I'm going to tell you about it. But first, let me invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything that's going on in cruising, you can do that by being a subscriber to The Cruise Show. All you got to do, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and you'll be set. You won't be like one of these loser cruise parents. Let me drop some knowledge on you right now. Here's some surefire ways to know if the kid that you run into on the cruise ship, if their parents have failed at being parents. Number one, if you run into a kid on a cruise elevator and that kid has depressed every one of the buttons on the elevator, his parents have failed. If you run into a kid on a cruise ship that punches another kid during a basketball game, those parents have failed. If you run into a kid in the buffet that not only cuts line, but grabs food with his bare hands, well, those parents have failed. If you're in the main dining room and dinner service has just begun and the kids at the table next to you are not seated but running around and screaming because, well, they just don't like to sit down while they eat, you failed. If a kid is treating the hot tub like a mini swimming pool, well, yes, you have fallen short in your parental duties. And if you run into a kid at 2 a.m. in the morning that's running up and down the cruise ship corridor, making enough noise to wake up an army, well, the parents have failed. My lovely bride and myself were parents to 6 kids, and it ain't easy. And sometimes you need a vacation, but just because you need a vacation doesn't mean you can take a break from taking care of the little rugrats that you brought onto this planet. Just because you know the hours of the kids club and how much they charge for the after hours child care, that does not make you a good cruise parent. That just makes you somebody who plans well for time away from your kids. Watch your kids. Let's close it out like this. I feel like we can we're friends, right? Let's close it out like this. There's really only three jobs more important than being a parent. Number one is checking the weight limit of people that are going to use your jungle zip line. Super important, very important job. Number two, preparing the hash brown casserole at Cracker Barrel. More important than parenting. And then number three, being the person that makes sure people are not on their cell phones during the cruise ship safety briefing. Yeah, I'm still bitter about it. Look, the big idea, the big takeaway for today's show, watch your kids. You made them. Take care of them. Don't let them run amok on a cruise ship. It's going to be better for you. It's going to be better for the kids. It's going to be better for the other passengers. Do not be a bad cruise ship parent, and don't be a bad cruiser. I did a whole list of 15 bad cruisers. Make sure you check this video out next. This is Tony for La Lido Loca, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.